Hey Sophie, thanks so much for coming on the Life of KG. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. So I'm going to start with our quick fire questions that we do with most of our guests. So, summer or winter?
Summer.
Tea or coffee?
Neither.
Oh, are you a wine girl?
No, I'm just water, really boring. Yeah, really boring. I mean, I
I know,
like a
I'm
gin.
drinking my water as well.
I like a gin, but yeah, day to day, just water.
All good and healthy. Having lashes done or having nails done?
Nails.
Are you? I've done that question and thought this is going to be really obvious because you're a lash girl, but nails.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst client. I'm like, you don't want me. Like, I haven't got patience to sit and have my eyelashes done. I pick them all out. I had my lashes done once, walked into the salon the next day, and Lauren went to, like, the girl that did them, she was like, where are your eyelashes? So I picked them all off, literally like 12, not even 12 hours. Like, I went home and picked them all off. So no.
The dreaded client.
Yeah, I am.
And then lastly, freedom or money?
Oh, that's different because they're one of the same thing to me. um, ah, freedom. But I think you need
Freedom.
money to have freedom. So
Yes. Yeah. I would have said exactly the same.
yeah.
So for those that are listening, can you just give us an intro and tell us who you are and what you do?
So I am Sophie. I am a business mentor for beauty professionals, and I run LashFest, which is an event for lash artists to help grow their business.
Amazing.
Yes, a lot going on.
Yeah. So let's go right back because you've been in the industry, I think the same time as me, 2009, is that right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've worked in a salon since I was 13. I was like the tea girl in my cousin's salon. So yeah, like 16, 17 years. I'm not even old. I don't even feel old enough to be saying that. But yeah, lash artists, like since the beginning, just pots of lashes, only classics, J curl, a lot.
Yeah. He used to love a good J curl. I remember when a client come in, it would have been 2009, and she come in, she's like, there's something called a C curl. And I was like, no, there's not. And she's like, yeah, there is. There's something called a C curl. I was like, I've never heard of that in my life. She's like, it's a little bit more curlier. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden there were C curls.
I know, it's just been crazy. It's crazy to watch the evolution. And what's funny now is ProMades. And I think it was Jamie that I messaged the other day. Yeah, because he must have been doing a thing about the ProMades. And I was like, this is literally circa 2009. Like, how funny that we've just gone right back round in the circle to pots of lashes. And like, it's just funny. It's crazy.
I know, it's a bit like thin brows are now coming back in, aren't they?
Yeah. It's
Everything
crazy.
always does a full circle again. It's
That's
hilarious.
it. We just get bored and onto the thing that that we did 10 years ago. Crazy.
Yeah. So, okay, tell me a little bit about you then, because you've been in the industry, well, in the salon since you was 13. You have been in business or along there since like 2009 or whatever it was. What made you join the lash world and then go into business?
Um, so I worked at my cousin's salon for quite a long time. I managed that, basically ran all the girls and did all the like the finance targets, all of that kind of thing for them. So I kind of just I fell into it really. She was like the person that I idolized the most. She's like 13 years older than me. And you know, little girls are like they just have this person, don't they, in your life that you just, she was like the holy grail. So I just followed on. She was super ambitious. I come from a family that's super ambitious. So it was just kind of in my blood. And then yeah, just it kind of got to the point there wasn't anything else for me to do there. So I needed to go and do my own thing. So I did that 5 years ago now. And it's just been a transition and a growth, and kind of the pandemic hit, and it was time to find another way to earn money. Because I think when you are that way inclined, it's like, right, what now? What else can I do? How else can I make this work? So I've kind of fallen into events and the online world, and I love it. It's amazing.
Do you? Because how long you've been, is this the second year of running LashFest, isn't it?
Yeah, second year, second event. And I can probably say it, we'll have another event in Toronto in September.
Wow, so you're hitting America.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting.
Why did you go down the event route? Did you think the mentoring and the events kind of combined like well together?
Yeah, it was kind of, this is going to sound so woo-woo. I don't know if you're woo-woo.
Go for it. I'm a little bit woo-woo. I'm a little bit woo-woo. So in the pandemic, I got really into like meditation, visualization, things like that. And every morning I would do this visualization exercise. I hadn't ever thought of running an event, right? This wasn't even on my mind. And it just kept on. All I kept on seeing was like a stage and me on it. Now, I couldn't think of anything worse at that time than getting on stage and doing whatever. But I kept on having it. And then I can't even remember what the moment was, but I was upstairs. I went downstairs. I said to Chris, I was like, I'm going to run a massive masterclass at the end of the year for lash artists. And he was like, okay. We were in the middle of lockdown. Like, we weren't even seeing people. And he was like, okay, how? And I just said, well, I don't know. I'm just going to do it. And it was literally going to be people that I'd met over the lockdown, Instagram, things like that. And it was just meant to be like a big, like the ultimate masterclass kind of thing. And then it just grew. I just started talking to people and listening to what people wanted and things like that. So yeah. And then so that's it. There's no like crazy thing, just a bit of visualization, which is so random. When I say it to people, they must think, oh my god. No, but I fully agree with that. I think there's like, I don't really know, like I'm into the visualization, but I'm not something I do daily. But a similar story to yours, I moved house in January, a family home, because it was always me and my little girl before, and we had our apartment that we still have, but we rent out. And I always had this vision of my house in my head that I would like my forever home. And I always was like, I don't know what's in between that. I know I can't have that house yet, but I don't know what's in between that stage of my apartment and this forever home. But I knew what this forever home looked like, and that's all I could see. I'm in my bloody forever home. That middle bit didn't come in. And I was like, I remember coming up the drive to view it, and I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I visioned my whole life. So I do think, obviously there's work and stuff that comes into that. Things don't just appear. But I do think if you set your heart and your head on something and you see it all the time,
definitely. It is really, really powerful. And I'm not like, I listen to some of my friends and they're like, oh, I'm putting it out into the universe and manifesting. And I think that's fine. But what are you going to do? Manifestation requires action. If you're not going to have the action behind it, then it's not just going to appear for you. So and I think, when you are that way inclined, when you're a doer and you've got that brain to make things happen for you, then everything's like unlimited in my eyes. Do whatever you want, have whatever you want.
Yeah, I love that. So tell me a little bit about your mentoring that you do then. Is that all online? Is that membership? How does that work?
A little bit of everything. So I've got a membership which comes under LashFest, which is for lash artists, solely just helping them perfect their craft and build their business. And then I've got the mentoring side, which is group coaching and one-to-one, and it is focused on, my whole thing's about building community, basically. So building in-person communities, online communities, yeah, and building freedom into your life, because what's the point of slogging away to sit at the computer all day every day, or sit behind a lash chair all day every day? Like, got to have something beyond fully booked. And that's what I help people do.
I love that. Do you still lash yourself now or not? No. I don't now either.
No, it was a shift. It took me a long time to give up. I didn't think I would be quite as attached as I was, but then some of my clients I've had for like 12 years, or a lot of my clients I've had for that long. So yeah, that was a journey. That was like giving up a piece of me, and I didn't think it would be as difficult as it was when it came to like the crunch of saying to people, I'm done.
Yeah, it's a big thing, isn't it? When you're so used to doing that for so many years, you think, oh God, but what if this new venture that I've taken on doesn't work out? And it's like your safety net.
It is, it's your bread and butter. You know that every 2, 3, 4 weeks, you've got those people coming in, and when you've had them for so long, they are as guaranteed as anything can be in your business. Like, they're always was my fallback. Like, I'm always fine because I've got my clients. So to then eventually get to that point where it was like, okay, I need to give them up, it was just a shift, a really difficult one. But it's like my mum said, she was like, that's your identity, that's all you've known as a working adult, that's all you've done, those people that have clients in that way.
So what's your day-to-day look like now then? I love asking this question for an entrepreneur, because lots of people look at us and think they've got the freedom, they've got businesses, like they must be really busy. What's their day look like? So I'd love asking this question.
Every day is different, to be honest with you. Really, really different. I mean, it's not that glamorous. A lot of the days it's just sat at my computer, pounding away, getting things done. So yeah, day to day isn't that exciting. That's a really lame answer. It's not that exciting. I go out for walks, I go to the gym. Go on.
I feel like you've downgraded that a little bit. I just sit at my computer, but you like could do that anywhere.
And I do it anywhere, and for me, my whole thing is freedom. Like, that for me is what I want in life. Like, I love travel, and I suppose at the moment where we've had the pandemic, it's only just coming into fruition where I can literally go and work wherever I want to work. So yeah, I've been to Portugal, I'm going to Seville, been to Chester, been to Manchester. So and all of it's that location freedom for me. So yeah, I have really downgraded it, because I do work from anywhere. I do what I want. I honestly do what I want when I want, because I have got that freedom. As long as I've got my laptop with me, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go and do this and do that. And that is something like I would say probably the last 4 or 6 weeks, there's been a real shift in me. And I think it is finally because the world is opening up. I'm going out, I'm doing a lot more. I'm being able to get back on an aeroplane, which is just like what fuels me. And yeah, I am living that life that I've always wanted to live right now. As cheesy as that sounds, we're doing a camper van up. So I'm gonna be able to work and go around Europe. So yeah, I have massively downgraded it.
I thought I would be able to get more from you.
Yeah, life is good. Life is sweet. It is really, really, really sweet, but it's also hard. As much as it is, like this run up to the event that I'm in at the moment, you must be in a similar situation. It is just head down and get stuff done. So you have to be willing to do that as well as do the fun stuff.
Oh, definitely. I mean, my whole businesses are around freedom. Like, I love that laptop lifestyle. Like, I'm so blessed. I have really good teams everywhere. Like, they will do stuff that I won't be able to do if I was like, if I was out and about. So they'll be more in the office or in the salons or whatever. But having that laptop lifestyle for me is so important, especially with children. Like, you don't have children, do you, Sophie, or do you?
I don't. No.
And so, like, when one day you might have children, like, you've already got that set up, or like, I get to have the holidays off, we travel the world, like, and like you said, but it's still graft, like, it's still hard work. My laptop's with me, I can work whenever I want. So my partner will be like, can you get off your laptop now, you're always working? But I love it, so it's like not work.
No, and this is the thing, we had a similar conversation the other day. I was literally sat on the sofa, it was about 11 o'clock, and I was tapping away on my laptop, and Chris was like, are you gonna put that down? It's like, yeah, I'll put it down in a minute. He's like, Sophie, it's 11 o'clock, like, why don't you just watch telly for 20 minutes before we go to bed? I was like, okay, I'll just finish what I'm doing. But like you said, it's not work, it's not really work, it's my life. But it gives me so much. Like, I've got an opportunity to go and speak in Australia next year. Like, I might be going to LA in July. Like, it's just crazy.
Would you say that all of them opportunities have come from building a community?
Massively. All from a community. Like, when the pandemic hit, I literally focused on, I mean, I had about 500 followers. I was fully booked. I had 4 girls working for me. Instagram wasn't a thing. And I was like, right, and if I need to work online, like, I need to build my online presence, my online profile. So I went hard on that, and I just threw myself into all of it. I spoke to anyone and everyone that would have me. And it was all through those connections that I built LashFest up. And it's the one thing people always say to me, they're like, how do you work with all these people? And I'm like, I just put myself out there. I just land in people's inboxes and I don't give up.
Yeah, community is key. I mean, I went on a 2-day conference not so long ago, and it wasn't anything to do with our industry. It was business related and marketing, and everyone was connected, and it's because of the community. And then when you're in these communities, you then get these opportunities, because you're like, how does this person know this person? Oh, this person's in that person's mastermind, then that person invited that person on a podcast, and everyone is linked. And it's like the power of community, people don't realize.
No, they really, really, really don't. And I think in the lash world, it's a bit more open. We're a bit more open to that. But I think in other branches of the beauty industry, it's still a little bit, it's not quite there yet. And I think,
I agree.
Yeah. And I really just want to inspire people to reach out and to connect with one another, because so much more happens when you've got more people behind you. Like, so I think 2 people at this year's event have come from a membership that I'm in. Last year's event, everyone was from an not everyone, but a lot of people were from an engagement group that I was in. Like, it was just you just have to meet people. You just have to, and like you say, masterminds, group coaching, memberships, events, all of it. And then it becomes funny at how everyone knows everyone. Like, someone will pop up that you've not heard of, and then they'll pop up everywhere else, and you think, oh, they use them, or they know them, and where do they come from? And it's funny. It's a small world
it
you're
really
in,
is. And you are who you hang around with, right? That just proves that.
Definitely, definitely. And there is so much power in that, so much power in that. And that's, for me, definitely something that I was searching for, was getting with people that were equally ambitious as me. Because I've got my friends and stuff and I love them all dearly, but they've not got the mindset that I've got for business. And I love them and I want to spend time with them, but I needed ambitious women, people to learn from and to inspire me, and to not feel like, sometimes when you're with people that aren't ambitious, you can feel like you're gloating a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And you're not gloating, it's just that's what you've got to talk about, but they don't talk about it.
Yeah, so I agree. You need fueling in different ways, don't you?
Definitely 100%.
So when coaches come on here, because I always ask coaches to come on the podcast, loads of people are like, you're a coach, why are you asking other coaches to come on? It's competition. No, it's not. Like, no, it is not at all. Like, we all teach different things, we all have our own niche in the industry, like, and everyone can share something. So I don't believe that at all. So I always ask the coaches some advice that they could share to our listeners. And obviously the podcast is business, but there's loads of beauty, there's loads of lash artists. So what would your 3 tips be to starting a business and it becoming successful?
God, be bold and be brave with getting yourself out there. Like, take uncomfortable action, I suppose. If you are literally just starting out as a lash artist, then I'm just going to go back to that whole community thing. Like, mingle with people, local businesses, anyone and everything. I'm similar audiences to you, hairdressers. Team up with anyone and everyone that you can, that's in your local area, to get yourself out there. Even if that means doing a free set of nails, a free set of lashes, especially hairdressing and things like that. Like, that is your ideal client, sitting with that person, and they've got 3 hours of your time, of free time, sitting with someone doing their highlights. Like, offer them, go in to all the local hairdressers, offer them free lashes, free nails, whatever you've got to do, and yeah, just get out there, just mingle. That's my advice.
And I'd say as well, for those that are like already in the industry and, you know, need to stay ahead of the game and in front of competition and stuff like that, like, we have the online presence, that we end up looking at this whole big world and think, okay, I need to start connecting with everyone, and actually forgetting the power of local. Like, I built up my whole company being local, and then only expanded into other areas, or, you know, wanting to connect with other locations over the last few years. But the power of local, all them local businesses that are offering exactly the same as you, everyone's missing the trick, because they're just like going out on social and getting everyone that's so far afield.
Definitely.
Staying local is so key. And like, even your local newspapers, your local little village magazines, like, connecting with everyone that's local.
Definitely. And I think everyone just gets consumed by social media. I think I've spoken to so many people and they're like, oh, I've just gone and trained on what have you, and oh, I've got no clients, or I'm struggling, and that I can't grow. I'm like, you're looking in the wrong places. You just forget about your social media for a minute and just get out. And it's people want instant gratification, and I think they look at socials and think, oh, like, that happened overnight because they've only just followed you. It's not. It's a lot of hard graft and getting out and putting yourself out there when you don't always feel up to it. You feel stupid, you get told no. You just have to keep on getting on with it and just doing it. It isn't going to happen overnight. There is no quick, easy route. You just have to put in the hard graft, and yeah, get yourself local. If you're trying to build a local business, that's where you need to put all your energy, not on social media, because a lash artist in America isn't going to do anything for you getting clients.
No, definitely. And talking about it like not being easy, as a businesswoman, what's been your hardest or your lowest point of business so far? Because I think it's so important for people to know these things, because it's not an easy ride. Like there's been many times I've been on the floor and people just look and go, oh gosh, she's had it so easy, or she, you know, she's doing really well, how does she do it? But there's been low points.
It was really funny, right? So it would have been in, I can't even remember now, these last 2 years, a summer that we were in the pandemic, that we were allowed to be out. And I was out walking with friends and she was talking about money and this, that and the other. And she made some comment, oh, it's all right for you. And I ended up and I said to her, you do realise that currently my business isn't, it must have been the first lockdown, I don't have a proper business anymore, don't you? Like, I don't have what I used to have. And she was like, no, but you're doing all the other stuff. I was like, yeah, I am doing the other stuff and it's growing and it's going amazingly, but I don't have what I used to have. And it was that expectation of, oh, like, you're all right, because I am like, I've got the brain for being okay. But yeah, just that, it was that pandemic, to be honest with you. It was just sitting on the phone to HMRC for 12, 13 hours and just thinking, fuck, excuse my language, like, what am I going to do? I've got no business. Like, that was definitely like the lowest, because I'd spent 2 years building it up. Like, so it was all fairly new in that way, and it had all just been ripped away. And then other than that, because obviously that's a really obvious one, other low moments, not necessarily low, just stress, to be honest with you, just feeling stressed at times, like now. But yeah, nothing like too low, but yeah, just the stress that comes with running a business, just that always having to be motivated, always not even motivated, always have to be driven, and the motivation comes from being driven. You just have to do it, you have to show up,
especially as a coach. Like, I find that one of the hardest things as a coach myself. You're a coach and like, you have to be on form all the time to your audience. Like, they come to you for advice, they're paying you for advice. You can't be like, oh, do you know what, I'm having a really shit day today. Yeah, I feel the same. Like, they don't want to hear that. You need to pump them up, you need to get them back in business, you need to get them back on the grind. Like, but
that's why we have coaches.
Coaches have coaches. Like, it's so important. Everyone needs a coach.
Everyone needs a coach, because you all need that person just to offload on, like, sorry, just to have that person to like put your rubbish onto at times, and just to get you out of your funk, because you're all human. We're all human. We all have moments that are hard, that are difficult, where you would rather just sit on the sofa with a blanket over your head and just think, no, I'm not doing anything today. I haven't got the brain space for it.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know about you, but when I do like not really my one-to-ones, my group coaching, anything bad that's happened always seems to land on the day of a group coaching session, and I'm like, mate, what are you testing me for? Like, I've got to go show up now, and I just want to have a cry on my sofa.
Yeah, and it's not even just one person, is it, that you've got to deal with? It's like the 10, 15, 20 people that you've got all in your group coaching or your mastermind, however many it is, and they all need something from you, and in your head you're thinking, yeah, okay, I can do this.
And you give yourself a really big pat on the back after, because you're like, oh my God, this is why I'm good at my job.
Exactly. And you always feel better off afterwards, I always find, because you have to be that person, whether you feel it at that time or not. But then that's also the beauty industry. How many times have you, well, I certainly have, like, you've been bawling your eyes out in the staff room 1 minute, and then you're like, clients here, hi, how are you? Like, it's so built into you, and you know that you've got eyes like puffy red, and the clients are probably thinking, are you okay? But you're there with your big grin, like, how's your day? Like, I think it's just something that's so built into you from this industry.
That's so true. I actually haven't thought of that before, but it's so true.
We're made for it.
We definitely are. So to finish up, what's been the highest point of your career so far?
Highest point of my career so far, probably LashFest, just being able to bring people together in that way. Like, it's just, I remember Julie from LashFest came up to me on the day, and she was talking about these 3 girls, and she said, I thought that they were friends. She said, but they're not friends, they've just met today. And they were literally like glued to each other all day. And then they put a post up on Instagram and were like, oh, I've met these 2 amazing people. And I was just like, do you know what, that is just what it's all about, especially at that time, November, after the pandemic, just letting people build those connections and have that time, have that human contact. Definitely LashFest. I love it.
Oh, that's so good. Where can people connect with you then that are listening in?
So if you are a lash artist, then LashFest, at LashFest with 2 underscores. And then if you are looking to grow online, then I am Sophie Alexandra on Instagram.
Amazing. Thank you so much for giving up your time.
No, thank you for having me. I'm excited that we finally got there. It's been a journey.
It has. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you, Katie.